everyone, welcome to this video. Today we're going to be doing something extremely different from what I usually do. I'm going to be telling a story. And this isn't just an ordinary story. This is a story about the biggest trauma I've faced in my life thus far. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. If you have siblings, you know it's basically your job as a sibling to annoy, scare your other siblings. I'm gonna start out by introducing my brother. His name is Chris. From a young age, my brother was always into things creepy, and he's always been into horror movies. Still is to this day. And when we were younger, we would watch things such as The Wizard of Oz, Sleeping Beauty, seemingly innocent, normal movies that you watch as a child. The only difference is, while my favorite characters were Aurora, the fairies, Dorothy, Toto, Chris's favorite characters were the Wicked Witch of the West and Maleficent. So that just goes to show you the juxtaposition between me and my brother from a very young age. He saw things in a different way, in a much darker way. So eventually Chris graduated from watching these innocent movies and latching onto the darkness from those movies and actually watching things that were meant to be dark. For example, he used to watch this show called Tales from the Crypt. If you don't know what that is, they're a bunch of like horror short films. And the host of that show was literally a fucking skeleton man. An animatronic skeleton man who's dead in the basement of a mansion. And he is known as the Crypt Keeper. I think he's a meme. I'm pretty sure he's gotta be a meme. If you watch the show, you'll see. He's actually pretty comedic, so it wasn't that scary. If you're a child and you see him for the first time, it's a little alarming. But if you watch enough of the show, you'll see. He's just a funny skeleton man who's just chilling in the basement, trying to tell a few stories. He's basically Homer for the modern day. My brother sat me down one day and showed me this videotape. The videotape was called Trilogy of Terror. He was explaining to me it's an anthology of 3 short films starring the same woman as the main character in each film. Her name's Karen Black. She's pretty legendary in this household, for better and for worse. So the first 2 short films I really did not pay much attention to. As a 6-year-old child, I just didn't understand what was going on, so I wasn't really into it. But when it came to the 3rd story in this anthology, I could throw up talking about this. The 3rd story is called Amelia, and it starts out with this woman who just got home to her apartment with a package, and when she gets home, she opens the package, and it's a doll. She's on the phone with her mother, and she explains that she just got this new figurine, and allegedly it has the soul of a Zuni warrior trapped inside.
There's supposed to be some Zuni hunter's spirit inside of it.
And the name for this doll is He Who Kills. Now, girl, I know you're white, but you have outwitted yourself with this purchase, because who in their right mind would buy an item that is allegedly cursed, unless you're like Zach Bagans or something, or Ed and Lorraine Warren. But I cannot. The figurine of the Zuni comes with a scroll, and it basically explains, hey, there's a chain wrapped around the doll's waist, and make sure you don't take it off, because if it comes off, the warrior is gonna come and basically come for you. Amelia leaves the room, gravity betrays her, and of course, the chain falls off. Are we surprised? Not really. When she comes back into the room, the doll is gone.
What'd you do? Fall off the table?
Long story short, the doll starts to attack Amelia, and for some reason she's defenseless against this 2-foot-tall, Lil Wayne-looking ass figurine who just keeps like stabbing at her legs, chasing her around the apartment, breaking out of suitcases, turning doorknobs, and emerging from bathtubs wielding a knife in his mouth. This guy is truly the real deal. This spirit. So towards the end of the movie, the Zuni fucking sinks his sharp teeth into this bitch's neck and chills there, pretty much just hanging out, lashed onto this woman's neck. She eventually uses her brain for the first time this entire movie, and she throws the doll into the oven and bakes him at 350, and then the doll like screamed or whatever, and then she screams or whatever. After all the hubbub, Amelia goes into her bedroom and she calls her mother back, pretty much apologizing for having an attitude earlier.
Mom.
And so she invites her mother over. So this is the part that gets me. If the whole entirety of this movie, a doll coming to life, stabbing at a woman and chasing her around her apartment and, opening you're just not safe, even if you shut the door, guess what? He can turn doorknobs. Guess what? He's gonna put the knife under the door and try to get your toes if you're close enough to the door. So Amelia grabs a knife from the kitchen. She goes up to her door and she takes the lock off, which I guess so her mom could just walk right in and she doesn't have to worry about unlocking it for her, because even though she's being nicer to her now, she still has a little grudge, I guess, because she's like, Mom, just open the door yourself. I'm not even going to answer the door and let you in. What a bitch. No wonder the Zuni came after her. So she starts backing away in a very strange way, and then she bends down and she's in like a sort of like caveman position. That's the best way I can describe it. So she looks like a caveman. She's holding the knife and she's just stabbing it repeatedly into the floor and staring straight at the camera. The camera zooms in, and once it's close enough, Amelia smiles and bares the sharp-ass teeth similar to those of the Zuni doll. Let me tell you right now, this bitch has been the key player of my nightmares since I was a child. I will be minding my business, doing my homework, painting a picture, reading a book, about to fall asleep, and her face will literally pop into my head with no warning, just for no good reason. I'll just picture her in my brain with those fucking dark circled eyes, the caveman hair, and the sharp teeth, and the fucking knife. So ever since we watched this movie together, I've been terrified. My brother loves it. It's very special to him. And it was so special to him at the time that he decided he was going to ask our parents to buy a figurine of this doll online. My parents are very great, and they are always into our interests, and they care about making us happy and doing what they know will make us happy. So of course they order the doll. The doll gets here in the mail. Whoop-de-doo. I'm running as far away as possible from this doll because, hello, you saw the movie, you know. The caucasity of my family, I swear to God. So my brother and my dad take it out of the package, and my dad suggests, oh, let's take the chain off. Of course he's joking, but my 7-year-old self doesn't know that. So I start screaming bloody murder, freaking out, running away, begging, literally begging on my knees. Don't take the chain off. Do not. You saw what happened to Amelia. Do you want it to happen to you or to me? I was trying to think they did. And let me ask you this question, public. Why did my bitch brother have this doll sitting in his room like it was just another one of, the Star Wars action figures? It was just chilling there. Needless to say, I stayed out of that bitch's shit because I was not about to go in there and have the Zuni, gravity, it betrayed Amelia, it could betray me. I did not want to deal with the repercussions of the chain falling off that doll. And watch, my luck, I'm the only one home when gravity decides, I'm going to increase for a moment and take the chain off, and the Zuni was going to come for me. Fun little story time. I was actually taking a bath around the time that my brother got the doll. And when we would take baths when we were little, my mom had us keep the door open because she didn't want us to drown. So I'm minding my business, making some soap beards and all that stuff that you do in the bath. Just chilling. All of a sudden, I look to the doorway, and what is sitting in the doorway? The Zuni fucking doll. Teeth bared, spear in hand, beating eyes, staring into my soul. I have never screamed so loud. I've never been so terrified in my life. I'm screaming. Chris is laughing. My mom is coming to my rescue. My mom's concern about me drowning has never been as legitimate as it was in this moment because I was ready to sink or swim. And I was not going near that doll, so sinking it was. Needless to say, that was traumatic. However, I'm still alive and I did not drown, and the Zuni did not come for me. In conclusion, I owe being afraid to my brother, so thank you for that. Shout out to you. I don't blame my brother. I'm actually very much into horror now these days. It's one of my favorite genres, and I pretty much am reclaiming that part of my life, being so afraid from a young age. I was afraid of everything. I'm still kind of afraid of the dark. Sometimes I'll need like a nightlight. It's so embarrassing, but that's just how it is. Over the years, I've gotten more brave and I've been watching movies, even though I get really scared of them. I think they're really interesting, and facing my fear is I'd say that's a big step in life in general. So pat on the back for that one. So that was my story of my childhood trauma thanks to my brother. Let me know if this was at all entertaining, and if you have any stories of your siblings torturing you, traumatizing you, I would love to hear it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!